everybody in. He's trying to get a hold to Saranda. Got it. How are you doing? I think that was Jim. Yeah.
Yes, it is Jim here. Yeah, I'm in Atlanta now, in San Jose.
Is it me or nobody has a picture or a live feed open? All I see is names on my screen right now, guys. Okay, yep. Jim, I see you.
There's Jim right there. I'm standing up away. Got a whole box.
Now it's coming.
95 filters.
Pictures coming in now.
Mm-hmm. Yes. Yeah. On the slow side. Thank you for that, Edward. I appreciate it. Good, Daryl, Clarence.
Evening, how you doing?
Nice.
Exceptionally well. Good cop, bad cop. Veronica, good evening. Like I say, good evening, everybody.
Hey, Sharon.
Love to try to go past my screen, but we up to 34 people. It'll keep switching on me. So I just said greetings to all that is. I see the photo. Live shot. Let me see this. Ta-da! Where's Anthony at?
There's a truck, yeah.
You're driving in on us, huh?
Driving in on you. I'll put this one up. I had it for the longest of the time, and I never switched it. I want to be cool like Anthony to be able to have me sitting behind it. I don't know how to do that one yet. Sitting in the front of it with the truck behind me. I got to keep playing. I'm trying to get that one right.
Darren, as long as your camera is on, it should show you in front of that, I'm thinking, because mine does. Let me show you. Whoops.
Yeah, mine there. I got the Palace of Fine Arts right behind me.
Uh-huh.
Oops, let me turn my video on.
Yeah, it worked out better that way. Josie.
Jody, I don't know if you're looking like what was that? You remember the Christmas movie with the ghost of Christmas past and stuff? You're on the lighter side today. I don't know if you can see that.
Yes, I wonder if because of the lighting I have here.
Out.
How's that?
There we go. Now you're in the present. Is Anthony not on?
That was a quick switch.
Clarence, where's the back cop at? I thought I saw him. There he is. There he is. Yeah. Almost looking like the ghost of Christmas past as well.
Yeah, he should be there.
Yeah, I see him. He popped up.
Must be walking.
Looks like he's walking. Are you walking in Wally World right about now?
What's up, everybody? Good morning.
Well, great. Yeah, great morning. Family, we have Mr. Dunbar is finishing up all the little itty bitty intricacies here, so he will be with us momentarily. You know, I think his no, the YouTube is on. Okay, we got that going and all. Welcome family, especially for the new trainees that had taken the training with Robert and Mr. Roman on Saturday. Welcome aboard. We look forward to sharing our knowledge from all the seasoned associates that's on the Zoom tonight, as well as anything that you all are bringing to the table to help us learn just as well. Welcome.
Yeah, it was an awesome class. It really was.
Fantastic. I was in Orlando. We had our huge kickoff this weekend. It was phenomenal.
Oh, okay.
Yes, because other than that, I would have been on this Zoom. We had Melissa Wilder was slated to be there for for the small business training, and then Jackie Cote for social media training. I missed that. I got to catch her social media. And then we have Coach Fart Bell on Saturday for the ultimate training. And then Mrs. Elizabeth Gardner on Sunday for goal setting. I mean, it was phenomenal.
Oh, great.
Where's Bob? Bob, I don't think you made it. I didn't see you. And so I don't, does anybody see Sharanda in the room? I don't think I let her in.
No,
Just yet.
I don't see her yet.
Okay.
Sent her a message asking what's going on, but we're on now.
Yeah, Bob, I don't know if you keep getting popped off. John is here. Or is that me seeing double? And so.
Yeah, Robert typically comes at us a couple of times. He's looking at he's looking at two different screens.
Right, I think, I see him up here twice now. Okay, so he has the second one already up and ready to roll. And
Oh, John Hoffman.
I
Happy
know,
New Year.
right?
You're muted, but I can read lips.
Yeah, miracles do happen, don't they?
Yeah.
Looking good here.
Yeah.
Hey, thank you guys for all following the directions and getting on the new link and all of that stuff. So that worked out pretty good for everybody. My apologies this evening. I had another call that was going on, and I could not I had to finish that one up before I got on this one. So I apologize. My apologies on that. Couldn't get the information out for somebody else to take it over because it was a new link. So my sincere apologies for that. So welcome to the new year. This is our first call in the new year, so we appreciate you guys. Thank you so much, Sharon, for hosting as we get started here today. And I hope everybody has gone into this new year, whether it's a 90-day run, whether it's you just saying, hey, look, I'm looking for some new stuff to go on in my business, just looking for some new excitement, some new drive, some new energy. We're hoping that you can get that here with us in a CDLP call. We really strive to make sure that you've got a easier process in opening up groups. So we're going to be doing some different things this year, some new things this year. We always try to make it better every year. We're going to try to make our 4th annual training this year better this year than we had last year. So we're looking at just bringing some exciting things to the table. So everybody who was on the CDLP certification training this past weekend, appreciate you guys for sticking with us through that. Boy, that was a challenge. We had about 5 or 6 or 7 big kickoff events going on at the same time we was doing our CDLP training. So we still managed to have about 75 people on that business solutions training at the same time. So thank you guys for coming in and joining us on that. Me and Alan had a good time putting that show on for everybody. So what we want to do tonight is, one, we want to talk about, because all I've been doing right now is just goal setting. It's a new year, just goal setting and talk about getting things done, getting stuff on your calendar, figuring out your major and your minor, making sure you understand what part of business solutions that you are going to be doing in Legal Shield, because we all say business solutions, but some of us don't really know the difference on that minor and that major. And I want you guys to really get on your calendar this year. It's January. I want you to start the new year by putting the things on your calendar that have to do with your major. So for some of you all, it's going to be hard, right? So here's the thing. Here's the deal. We need to get rid of some things, meaning that you cannot advance to the next level in this new year if you do not get rid of the things, right, that you're not going to be doing to replace it with the things you're going to be doing. Does that make sense? So everybody jump in the chat and just put yes if you understand that, right? So I know you guys have already did the rah-rah session, and y'all did I'm doing the 90-day run and your team call and all this stuff. New Year kickoff, y'all. This weekend, y'all was all at I'm gonna be the next CD, I'm gonna be the next ring earner, I'm opening 10 groups. I already know y'all did all of that stuff. Now my question is to you now is, what are you not gonna do this year so that you can actually do the stuff that you said you're gonna do. Because you're already too busy, right? Anybody not too busy? Put no in the chat if you're not too busy, right? So everybody's already too busy, but now you're saying you're gonna do what? Right?
Or
I'm going to recruit more, sell more, open more groups, get an accountability partner, work with a field trainer, right? But how do you do that if you don't have any more time than you had last year? What are you going to get rid of? So that's the first thing I want you to write down is what are you going to stop doing so that you can start doing the other things? And I also want you to write down your major, right? What is your major going to be in? Don't put business solutions. Put what in business solutions? Because business solutions is everything. That's group, that's small business plans, that's CDLP, that's all business solutions, and that can't all be your major, right? Everybody go in the chat and put focus. I'm gonna need this to be the year of focus for you, right? Type focus in there. Let me see if you even focus enough to put that in the chat, right? Can we get focus in there? See if y'all paying attention. At least let's get focus in there, right? So here's the deal. I want you guys to go in the chat and put what part of business solutions that you're looking at focusing on. Because opening groups is one thing. CDL groups are another thing. They're both groups. But going after CDL and going after regular groups, there's two different target markets. Going after small business plans, right? So if you ask Sharanda, she'll say, I go after small business first, and then she opens the group, right? I normally go after group first and then open the small business. So it's no right or wrong, but which one you go, what's going to be a major, what's going to be a minor? You got to be focused on this, which your major and your minor is, because if you're not focused on it, you're not going to do the right things, right? Remember I said you got to let go of some stuff, right? I said you got to let go of some stuff. So Legal Shield has business solutions training, network marketing trainings, Zooms going on, your team got a call, your upline got a call, all this stuff going on, and you on everything. So that's why I need you to focus. I need you to focus because if network marketing is not your major, then you can't be on 4 network marketing trainings a week. Right? So I hope you guys brought a pen and paper to this tonight. I really hope you did, right? So what I want you to write down on a sheet of paper is how many hours a week you plan on doing trainings. Because I'm gonna give you a tip for that. How many hours a week do you plan on doing trainings? Meaning that looking at all the trainings, I don't care whether you bought something from Tony Robbins and you got some Grant Cardone stuff and you on the Jackie Cotan, Brian Carruthers, and you bought into this and you bought into that and there's 90-day run trainings. I don't care what it is. How many hours a week do you plan on training for your business versus doing income producing activity? Right? I'm going somewhere with this. Once you write that number down, I want you to think about any trainings that you plan on getting on that are not recorded. That means that if you don't get on it live, you can't get on it at all. I can't think of any, but some of y'all might be on something that I'm not on. So I don't know. Maybe you're on something that I don't get on. Everything I know that I get on in Legal Shield, they record it. Yes or yes? Put a yes in the chat if you feel like everything on Legal Shield, right, for the most part, is recorded. But you might have a team call or something that's not recorded. I know there's been leaders who won't record because they want the people to be on live. So I know that does happen, right? So you got the hours that you plan on doing training, and you now put down any trainers that's live. Hopefully you got none, right? Right? They all recorded. Now I want you to pick when you plan on listening to these recorded trainings, because I don't want you to be on them live. Why don't I want you to be on them live? Because I need you to get control back of your calendar and look at stuff when you schedule to look at it. Meaning that if if who can I see right now? I can see Jim Hicks. I can see Jim Hicks right now. I can see Clarence Bramley right now. I can see Anthony Norris. So if Anthony Norris is doing a training on Monday night from 7:30 to 8:30, and Clarence Bramley is doing one on Tuesday from 6:30 to 7:30, and Jim Hicks is doing one on Wednesday from 4:30 to 5:30, that's all income producing activity hours, isn't it?
Yeah.
So let's just assume that I'm putting somebody on, which means I'm producing, right? I got a guest on a live event. That's me allowing somebody, right, to hear the information. So that is production. I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about a call just training me on what things I should be doing. I'm not talking about the Blitz on Tuesday, because the Blitz on Tuesday is what? Income producing activity. I'm talking about the calls that you guys are on that are recorded that you should be listening to at a designated time on your calendar, that you say, I'm going to take training and put it here in this slot so that I control my calendar. Is this making sense to you guys, right? Is it making sense? Put a number 2. A number 2 in the chat if this is making sense, right? So I want you to get back. So this is not a disrespect to any training, right? None at all. I'm not saying you shouldn't take training. I'm not saying you shouldn't be involved. What I'm saying is you are running a business and you've got to put a limit on how many trainings you're doing, because if you don't, every time they say there's another training, you're going to just take the training and you're not even going to value whether or not it's cutting into your activity time. I'm trying to help you get your calendar set up in the new year, right? So as you go into the new year, you say, hypothetically speaking, I'm going to do 5 hours of training a week. And I'm going to pick the best ones that I need to pick for me based on my major. And then I'm going to block this amount of time for the Blitz. I'm going to block this amount of time to make calls on my own when there's not a Blitz going on, right? So you got to have income producing activity time. Some of you all got more training hours in your calendar than you have activity time. Some of you are doing a training for an hour a day and not even making calls for an hour a day. And you cannot run a business and do more training than you do producing. You can't do more training than you do activity, right? Is this even making sense a little bit, right? So when you measure that, you'll know. So you figure out how many hours you're going to do a training, because it's going to certainly depend on what your major and what your minor is, right? But you need to look at how many hours of training and how many hours of activity, because some of you aren't calculating, so you really don't even know how many hours of each you're doing. So I want you to cap off how much training you do. That way you can sincerely say, okay, I've only got a 5-hour window. If it's 5 hours, I'm not saying use 5 hours, but if you do 5 hours, I'm going to look at the trainings for this week that are coming on, and I'm going to choose what 5 hours of training that I'm going to listen to later on at my training time. Now you don't listen to every single thing that comes out, even if it doesn't benefit you. If I'm not doing CDL, why are you on a CDLP Monday call? Why are you on Sharanda Ivory's Thursday call if you're not doing CDL? If you're not doing small business, what you keep getting on Melissa Wilder's small business training for? Well, I'm trying to find out whether I want to do that now or not. If you haven't figured out what you want to sell yet, we got a whole nother issue going on. First of all, if you're selling business solutions, it would almost be absurd to be talking to companies and not selling them a small business plan anyway. That don't mean you're going to make the sale, but for you to not be in the market to kill 2 birds with 1 stone wouldn't make a whole lot of sense. Right? So, and I'll say it on this call because I already told them I was going to say it anyway. So I guess I can say it, right? You're not going to make a whole lot of money selling the CDL plan. Right? So if you looked at the comp plan and you're thinking, am I saying something wrong? You're not. You're not going to make a whole lot of money selling that plan by itself. So you need to be coupling that plan with another plan. You need to be bundling that with another plan. You need to be also selling that small business plan, because you can't just look at premium dollars, guys. Nobody on this line, I don't believe. And if I'm wrong, right, just raise your hand. If I'm wrong, raise your hand. Anybody on this line that got into business to get premium dollars, raise your hand. And it's okay if you did, but just raise your hand, because I want to make sure I'm not saying, I don't want to generalize if I'm wrong. Has anybody in this business gotten into this business for premium dollars? Okay, great. So why are we selling for premium dollars as opposed to selling, right? As opposed to selling, yeah, my hand is raised. My computer always doing that, right? So as opposed to selling based on what the client needs, right? Because what? We got into business for what, right? We being transparent, right? Why did we get into business? We got into business to make money and to solve a problem. To make money and to solve a problem. So what problem are you solving by marketing these memberships? Right? If it's CDL, you're selling what you're fixing one problem. If it's the small business plan, it's a different problem. If it's the life events legal plan, it's a different problem, right? Whatever product you're selling to solve a problem. But you're also doing it to do what? Make moolah, right? So we can't be mistaken by that. First and foremost, we have to focus on earning income and selling the correct product to the correct customer. If you're gonna do CDL, you can't do CDL by itself, because you're gonna save lives, but you're gonna be broke. Is that okay if I say that? Right? It's okay if I say that. I mean, I want you to know that I know that, you know. So if you decide to do that, I mean, I just know that if you just say, all I'm gonna do is protect truck drivers, and I'm not gonna sell a family plan, I'm not gonna sell a small business plan, I'm just really interested in these truck drivers getting in less trouble on the road. You will be a hero with a cape, but your cape gonna be tore up because you ain't gonna have no money to fix it. You can't put that bad boy in the cleaner. I'm just telling you, you cannot make enough money selling CDLP to do it by itself. So if you're gonna sell CDLP, this is a new year, this is 2022. If you're gonna sell CDLP, I will really tell you to take a page out of Sharonda's book, right? Take a page out of Sharonda's book and go after that small business plan. Sell that owner operator a small business plan, sell them a CDL plan, and then attach some plans to the other driver. If you go after a trucking company that's got 30 employees and you're selling them bundle plans, guess what? You're protecting the driver with the CDL, but you're also selling the family plan, which they need. They need to have access to a will. They need to have access to a healthier power of attorney. They need to have access to contract and document review. Their kids need to have protection, right? And you can sell a super if you want to. I don't sell it, but you can sell a super if you want to, or you could just bundle them up and put them under the family plan for $29.95 and a CDL for $29.95. Does that make sense? So that you can make some money and cover some people if you're going to be doing group in that aspect. Because you could be the person that says, I'm only going after owner operators, because you still protect the truck drivers, right? So if a guy owns one CDL vehicle and he's the one driving it and he's the owner operator, you can still sell him a CDLP, a family plan, and you can sell him a small business plan. Particularly the $99 plan or above, because he's a trucker and he might have a situation where he gets sued and he can't get that plan, he can't get the add-on with the $49 plan. Yes or yes? Guys, if you want to make 50,000, 100,000, 60,000, 70,000, anywhere between 50 and 100, anywhere between 1 and 150, anywhere between 150 and $200,000, you got to calculate your money, right? You've got to calculate your money. You've got to know where the money is coming from, right? You got to know where your money is coming from. And you've got to know what plans to sell to earn what income. So anybody that's on this line right now, your very first thing that you need to be doing is getting your ASS to director. That's what you need to be getting. to the highest qualifying position that you can get to. We can deal with senior director and executive director afterwards. But first, you need to get yourself to the highest qualifying position, because you should not be selling the same thing Jim is selling and making less than Jim. That doesn't even make any sense. So your very first goal that you should be shooting for is getting at least to the highest qualifying position and getting yourself from that point to PC Pro. Yes, yes? You guys follow that? Why is that important? Because those are staples, right? PC Pro means I'm making some money and I'm making some sales, right? I'm making some money and I'm a director and I'm PC Pro. So I'm qualifying for bonus, which is a form of income. And I know I've got to make some income, even get myself to 200 to PC Pro. So I'm making some money doing that. I'm actively doing some sales. I'm being consistent, and I'm at least a director level, which means I'm at the highest qualifying position. And this is why, because to focus on money, you can't keep worrying about whether you're requalifying for something else. You got to focus on income if you want your business to make money, right? Am I saying something wrong here? Correct, right? We got to focus on income if we want our business to make money. So at least be at the highest level that you can't drop below, so you can accurately count your money and say, I know at the director level what I get paid. And I know that no matter what happens, if I don't sell for 6 months, if I sell again, I'm going to at least get that. Choose a major that you're going to focus on. And I want you to let go of the stuff that you're not going to do. I want you to let go of the stuff. I want you to let go of the trainings. I want you to let go of the meetings that don't help your business build to the next level. If you're confused on what you're going to do, take some time to think about that. From 1 week to the next, or 1 month to the next, however long it's going to take you to make a decision. But you need to make a decision on what you're going to do and what you're going to sell. Because you're not going to accurately focus on selling a particular product if every time they say, we got something new, you want to say, I'm selling that now. Oh, look what we added. Okay, I'm going to take my focus off and I'm going to sell that now. Look at the next promotion. I'm going to take my mind off and I'm going to sell that now. If you're doing business solutions, you should be focused on the business solutions bonuses, right? The business solutions products, the business solutions pricing, right? There you go, Sharon. CDLP is not for the toe dippers, right? So I know the seriousness of some of you all because I get the emails. So I know when you ask me for something that I sent out for the last 6 months, that you didn't open the email because you wasn't really doing the business. And that's okay. It's okay. You don't always have to be doing Legal Shield. I'm not always doing Legal Shield. So it's not about you always having to do it, but it lets me know where you're at. It lets me know your seriousness, where you're at, and where your focus is at. This is a new year. You cannot be on Brian Carruthers on Monday, right? Be on somebody else on Tuesday, Darnell Self on Tuesday, Melissa Wilder on Wednesday, Marty Galano on Thursday, Don Townsend on Friday, Super Saturday on Saturday, Sensational Sunday on Sunday. And then Magnificent Monday come and your bank account didn't change. I'm just saying, it doesn't work that way. I've been in leadership for 13 years. They say the best trained person wins. That's only true if the best trained person is actually producing. So I know a whole lot of people in Legal Shield that make less money than me, but know more about Legal Shield. Because they don't miss a training, but they don't make a call. So you got to make a decision on what you're going to do with your time. So I'm asking you to limit your training time, limit it, right? And maximize your calling time. Maximize your calling time. Because guess what else is training? Calling. Guess what else is training? Activity. And it's called practical. So I promise you, if you get on 3 hours of training and I make calls for 3 hours, I can guarantee you I'll know more than you know. Because when I'm gonna learn from the phone hangups and the no's and the get lost and you said the wrong thing and don't ever call back again and your product stinks, I'm gonna learn more than what I'm gonna hear on the 3 hour training. You guys follow that? So doing is learning. Doing is learning. So don't go back to your upline and say, somebody say don't go to training no more. And if you do, I don't care, because they can call me and say whatever they want. I've been here 13 years. They can call me and say whatever they want to say. I'm a trainer, right, by trade. So I promise you, I'm not telling you training not good, because I have a training company. But what I will tell you is if I train you and you don't actively do what I said, you're going to still be broke. That's what's going to happen. You're going to still be broke. You're just going to know a lot of stuff. And it's a whole bunch of smart people that's broke. Some of y'all know some of them. So it's not about what you know, it's what you're actively doing. It's what you're actively doing. So if you go out and you produce, if you say I'm gonna skip a training and make 20 calls to 20 prospects, you will feel better going to bed at night. Ask somebody that I'm helping that says, I missed ED, but I made $4,000. I missed ED, but I made $5,000. I missed ED, but I made $6,000. They missed the goal, but they made the income goal. Missed the training sometime and hit the activity. Because y'all go to the conferences like I do. And when the last time you seen somebody go across the stage for being the best trained person in the company? Isn't it interesting? They keep giving out all these awards and ain't none of them for best trained, but we keep training all day long. I learned the most in 2021. I got the most learned award. The Lady of Intelligence Award. They gave it to me, right? They're not giving no award off of that. They're giving awards off of activity. So if you sit on this these trainings, understand that you're killing, right? You're killing your production time. That's why this call is at 8:30 at night. Right? Now I know my West Coast people, I'm cutting into a little bit of your business. I apologize. But I try to do it late as I could and not seem like a creep on the East Coast. You know what I mean? I try to do it in the middle a little bit. But I understand it's 5:30 where you guys at, which is why John Hoffman is not on here a lot of times, right? So I really want you guys to just wholeheartedly understand. Like, I promise you, I stand to gain nothing by saying this to you personally. I'm telling you this because I work with people every single day. And it's not just legal shield people. It's people in a bunch of different things, right? That's got more than one businesses, that's got full-time jobs and side hustles and all kind of other stuff. Guys, you gotta focus on what you're doing. And if you're not saying no to something, then you're not focused. You're not focused. So ask yourself, when the last time did you miss a training? If you haven't missed any trainings, then you're not focused. Because you mean to tell me every training that we've had, it's been strategically in a place where it didn't cut into none of your activity time? None of your focus time? You ain't missed a training. You haven't missed anything. If you're gonna not miss something, that needs to be, right, a live event that you have a guest on. Those are the things that you don't miss. The other stuff, put it on your calendar to listen to it later on. Pick a time, schedule a time. It could be 3 hours on one day, it could be 5 hours on one day, it could be an hour on Monday, an hour on Tuesday, an hour on Wednesday, but it needs to be non-production time. I want you to really stop training when you could be making calls. Unless it's an emergency training in somebody that you know, like a Darnell Self or maybe your upline platinum, or Melia's or Don Thompson or Jeff Bill. I mean, if they're doing some kind of special live call that they need us on for some particular reason because there's something going on, that doesn't happen every week. We know that kind of stuff happens, right? We know that. But understand, on a day-to-day basis, you cannot be saying, I'm making sure I'm getting on all of these calls when they're going on. Because all that is you making an excuse not to work. It's called self-sabotage. That's exactly what you're doing. So what did I ask you guys to do? So one, I want you to write down what your major is and what your minor is. Write those down. And then I want you to do, after you write those down and you're clear on them, I want you to write down what you're going to let go of. What trainings are you not going to attend live anymore because you're going to be working your business? What are you letting go of because it's a minor, not a major, and saying, okay, I'm not doing all these unnecessary trainings that are part of my minor, right? I'll ask a question when it's time to do that minor. I'm only going to attend stuff that has to do with my major so I can focus. So I can be at the top of my game at my major. What are you going to let go of? Then I want you to put a time slot or slots that you are going to park on your calendar that you are going to use to listen to the recordings of the trainings that you're not going to live, that you're not listening to live. So that you can now say, right, even if somebody calls. So if Anthony Norris, right, if Anthony Norris is my upline and he says, hey, Dunbar, you're going to be on the Business Solutions call at 10 o'clock. And I say, you know what, Mr. Norris, I'm not going to be on that call because I got activity to do, but I do have it in my calendar to be on there to listen to the recording Saturday at 7 o'clock in the morning. Intentional. That's intentional. Now, if Mr. Norris says you need to be here, guess what? I'm not going to tell y'all what I would really say. I'm going to be, politically correct. Mr. Norris, I'm self-employed. I'm an entrepreneur. I make my own schedule. I've already put some time to listen to the recording during my activity time. This is what I want to be doing. Now, after that conversation, I really don't care how Mr. Norris feels about that. Because this is not his business, it's my business. Right? And if I'm not producing, his kids don't not eat, mine's do. So I can appreciate him wanting me to be there, but leadership is always going to say activity comes first. It's always about activity, except when you got to play team. We know that those times come when you got to play team. I know that there's a time where you say, hey, let's shut everything down. We need to have a meeting or something going on. That happens, but that don't happen every day. So I'm not talking about those meetings. I'm talking about the regularly scheduled stuff that we do every week that are recorded trainings that we can get on whenever we want. When we decide to get on a training at 10 in the morning, when at 10 in the morning, you should be on the phone hammering that phone. Or out in the field doing whatever you do in the field, unless you're at your 9 to 5. And here's one for you. Everybody that has a 9 to 5 that can't use their phone at work, I bet you they're not on them trainings. So how in the world does a person with a 9 to 5 that don't get on those trainings because they at work justify not being on them, but you can't justify not being on them to do activity? So you justifying not getting on a live training because you had a job, the thing that you're trying to replace in the first place with activity. You figure that one out. Doesn't make any sense. You're running a business. You got to have income producing activity. Put the trainings on your calendar, because one thing your upline or your whoever is going to say is, I guess you're serious about this because you already got a scheduled time to look at. You already put that on your calendar. Yeah, I got slots. I already made slots. They're already ready for me. I already know what time I have intentions on looking at this training that I'm missing right now, because my intention was to miss this training because I've got calls to make during this time. You guys follow that? All right, it's 9:29. I feel like a preacher, and it's Monday. It's Monday. It's not Sunday. It's Monday. I feel like a preacher. I feel like I'm preaching at a black church. Ever been to a black church? It's a long time. So, if you have any questions, if you need to go, there you go, Thomas. Pass the offering plate, right? If you need to go, I understand that. It's 9:30. So if you got to go, you got to go. If you have any questions, you can unmute, ask your question. I'll try to answer your question. If John Hoffman is still on, John Hoffman can help answer questions. He's a trainer. If Sharon, I believe Sharon is still on, she can help. She's a field trainer. She'll help host the call. I don't think Sharanda Ivy's on right now with us. If Sharanda Ivy jumped on or is there somewhere, then of course she can answer calls. But anybody got any questions?
I got something to say, Robert.
Yeah, John Hoffman. How you doing, brother?
Good. So you want to pick a major. Of course, my major is CDLP. I don't know hardly anything about identity theft anymore because it's changed so much. So if I'm going to field train with somebody that I want to share a group with, I'm going to look for a person that is stronger on identity theft. I'm going to keep my major CDLP. I can't be a master of everything. You just have to be. You have to pick a direction you want to go. Saturday, I was invited to walk the stage in California because I was one of the top producers in California, and I was a little embarrassed because I'm only in CDLP, and I was like number 12 in the state of California, but it's all CDLP. And I know what my activity was last year, including when I was down for a month with knee surgery, and I still made the list, and it astounded me. That makes me wonder what a lot of the other associates are doing, and I'm going to double my effort this year. I know that because I'm healthy. I can move around a lot more now. But I've already opened a new group today. I'm going to activate a new group Wednesday. So I'm hitting the road running. That's what you have to do. You have to get the momentum going. Once you build momentum, keep it going. Listen to the trainings is going to sharpen your skills. Like a lot of the training that I listen to is not legal shield related. It's sales related. I subscribe to a Jeb Blunt monthly thing he's got. It's costing me $50 a month, but I listen to his trainings about how to set up emails that get answered. How to make phone calls, what to do when people say no, because Legal Shield can't give you all the information you need. You have to seek that other information you need to sharpen your axe. And I'd rather be spending my time more prospecting and sorting and learning from other experts outside the Legal Shield network about what I'm doing for a living, how I'm going to make money.
No, that's good stuff. And John, you ever hear somebody say they got on the other side of money, right? So let me tell you something that John did that's interesting. I hear new people or people who are inexperienced, and if this is you, I'm not picking at you, not John, but if anybody that fits this category, I'm not particularly talking to you. That does not want to do a split because they don't want to give away half their business. Well, John has got so much business that he's looking for people to do splits because he got too much business. So he went from not knowing what he was doing at some point in Legal Shield and having a field trainer work with him to take half the business. Then he got so good that he got so much business that now he has to say, I can't get here, here, and here. So I need somebody else out there to go do it and I'll do half. So he's already done the work. The groups that I'm on with John Hoffman, he did all the work. He opened the group, he set it up. He went in there and wrote business and then said, hey, I'm going to give you half the business if you service it in the state you live in. You guys follow that? So we're asking people with a field trainer that, hey, look, we're going to help you set it up and do a split. Well, when John called me about a split, he had already done everything. All I got to do is go to the group and present because he's created that much business for himself. Does that make sense? So guys, like it's not difficult. It's just mundane. That's not just the networking side. That's the business solution side. Making calls every day is mundane. Doing the same stuff every day, walking into play is mundane. But guess what? Mundane can make a lot of money. And some of y'all should know that because mundane is what you're doing at your job every day. Come on. You're doing it at your job. How many of you guys go to work and you're doing the same thing every day? And you've been doing it for 20 or 30 years. Well, not even a speculation of a raise. You can do the same thing here every day and double and triple your income over the next 12, 18 months by doing the same thing because you're doing it and it's a commission-based self-employment opportunity. So, I mean, God, it's really just that simple, right? This is a new year. You got to make the effort. Anybody else? Any questions? Any comments?
Yes, I have a question, Robert.
Timothy, what's up, man?
I'm doing good. Thanks for the training.
Absolutely.
The DOT Trucking Company Director, where do we want to go to find that site?
To look up trucking companies?
Yes.
John Hoffman. Where you at, brother?
I'm here.
There you go. That's a question for John Hoffman right there.
Well, there's a couple ways to do it. I do it just by driving around and recording DOT numbers and then going on the Safer site, and then do a little bit of prospecting there. And then I go beyond that. I came across a new site called opencorps.com. It gives you the name of the owner of the company and if they have a registered agent. Sometimes a registered agent, sometimes the same person in the company. I'm actually targeting registered agents right now too to sign up for because they're helping a lot of trucking companies and recruiting those type of people because they have that contact list of trucking companies. So I'm kind of expanding out in that area, but you want to go to the Safer and then you can go to the link to their SMS profile. And then you can go to Reference USA to even do more research on them. I use another site called buzzfile.com, which breaks it down even further. Trucking companies are a little bit hard to find in Reference USA, especially the smaller ones, but Buzzfile seems to open that door a little more for me where I can get more information. And that it's called opencorporates.com is the one that I came across that I've been able to find a lot more information about owners because when I go to talk to trucking companies, I go right to the owner. I go to the top. And you always work your way down, but it's hard to start at the bottom, work your way up.
I think Randy Hooker was giving us some examples on how you can pull them up for the zip code alphabetically. And I didn't get that information when he was giving those examples. You can also look up companies within a certain amount of miles from your zip code. That's what I was referring to.
So,
this is my list of prospects that I had just been driving around in a 20 square mile area. It's about 500 sheets here of qualified trucking companies. Not everybody's qualified to talk to. So that's why you want to do your research. But there's about 500 companies that are qualified for us to go talk to them in this small area in Southern California. It's called the Inland Empire, but it's only half of it. So just by driving around and looking at numbers and recording them, you're going to get a list like that. I got a list of about 5,000 trucking companies. Not all of them are worthy of our service. Not all are going to say yes. But when you do some more research on them, you're going to be able to sort the ones we can go into, and they should hold the door open for us and bring us into a conference room and talk to us. And then I had that happen today. I talked to 2 new companies, an average of about 150 drivers each. Got past the security guard and they wanted to talk to me. So I'm just starting the relationship building with these companies because it doesn't always happen on the first time. The one group I opened today, I started calling on them probably about a year ago and they finally said yes. So don't ever forget about a company if they are always cordial to you. Always keep them on your follow-up list, and eventually they'll say yes. Something happens. Like there's one company that said yesterday they just had a BIT inspection. BIT inspection is when they get their books looked at as far as what their logbooks look like, how they're doing their vehicle inspections, and he got a scare. So I said, well, we got something that can maybe help with part of that problem with our membership. And so I left him that group authorization form. He's going to sign it. I'm picking it up tomorrow, and then we're going to start talking to his drivers. So like I said, it's all momentum building. You just got to build that up. And when that momentum gets going, it's hard to stop, but it's when you stop it, it's hard to get it going again.
I know that's right. And Timothy, if you're sitting in the house and because I know, some people, they can't leave the house or whatever they got going on. So if you're anybody who can't leave the house, you got some scenario where it's COVID has got you not wanting to engage with people because, I know there's people out there that's, health issues and don't want to deal with COVID at all. So Randy, when you talk about Randy talks about truckdriver.com. And he also looks companies up on FMCSA as well. So if you want to know how to do that, we have training so the training that you're saying you missed when he did it, we have it recorded. We record everything. So if you want that actual training, that's probably going to be the best thing for you, is for you to just relook at that training. So I know what training that is. So I will send you that training so that you can take a look at it, and you can go to the YouTube channel and pull up other trainings as well. But that particular training, I know which one you're talking about, where Randy is pulling companies up. That way you can actually see that actual training and see what you missed, if that helps you too.
Yes, Will. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. You got it.
Can I ask a question?
Yeah, sure can.
How you doing? Good evening, everybody.
Hey.
Happy New Year. That training is something that I was looking forward to as well. Is that the same training that also shows you how to find with the DOT numbers of the trucking companies, like their violations and things like that, so that you have the ammunition to go in? Because I seen something a while ago and it perked my interest, but I lost the information I had.
Okay, so one, yes, that is straight to answer that question. Two, I sent an email out today. So if somebody raise their hand if they got this, because I don't ever see the email. I mean, I don't see that you all get it. I sent an email with the change in the links for this training. And behind that, when you click the link, another email came that said 3rd annual CDLP training. Mm-hmm. That email has the actual training video that you're talking about. I actually sent that out today to everybody. Yeah, so just check your email. Now, if you don't see it in the email, you can always go to my YouTube channel. Just go to my YouTube channel and just type in 3rd annual, and it'll pull up that training. And it's Sharanda Ivy training, myself, Lamar Reynolds, Randy. I think John might be training on that as well, and Catherine Pouliot. So there's about 6 of us training on there, and that's all it is. It's pulling companies, knowing how to look at their DOT numbers, information, looking at the tickets, looking at the citations, the violations, all of that stuff is there. And Randy Hooker goes over trucker.com on that training as well. So that's a good training. And we do that training every year. So we'll be doing another one in March, the 4th annual. But the 3rd annual was the latest one, and that's there. But if you check your email, you'll see it there as well.
Okay, thank you very much.
Oh, you got it. Anytime. Thanks for supporting. Anybody else got a question?
I've got a question, Robert.
Hey, Jody, what's up?
Hey, how are ya?
Good.
So, alrighty. So my major is, I'm going to be kind of doing like what Sharanda is doing with major CDLP and then business, and kind of focusing on some smaller companies. Here's my question for you, being that the major is also, or excuse me, small business. What do you recommend as far as like networking groups then? Because networking groups is more like small business owners, things like that. Are you suggesting to not do the networking groups if you're majoring on the CDLP? Here's another part of that. So with me exiting out of my chef business, I'm wanting to more rebrand myself, reinvent myself, and let the community know, and the people that I've networked with before, that, hey, this is what I'm doing now as opposed to being a chef. So, so I guess going forward, what would you recommend me to do as far as, should I continue going to the networking groups, or should I stop and just strictly focus on the the CDLP, like the smaller companies?
Okay, so one, some of this you're gonna have to talk to me offline about, because some of it is gonna be some more detailed stuff. But I'm gonna tell you, generally speaking. So generally speaking, I would stay in networking groups, because for small business type business solutions with Legal Shield, you want to be in that. Now, what I'll tell you is this is always the hit here, right? This is always the the shocker, right? You shouldn't be in that stuff as Legal Shield. You need to brand yourself as your own company. So if you're going to walk away from the chef space, then you need to be in this new space as, hypothetically speaking, right? Just, Jody Benefits Group. I'm just throwing something out there. Jody Benefits Group. And you should not be doing anything in BNI or chamber or any of that that is an individual sale. You should strictly be selling small business plans and opening it up groups. And if your major is CDLP, then when you stand up as Jody, right, the owner of Jody Benefits Group, I'll work with transportation companies with whatever amount of employees that you're looking at, 10 to 30, 5 to 15, whatever it's going to be, right? Let's just say 10 to 30. I'll work with trucking companies from an owner operator all the way up to 30 employees. We offer a robust legal plan to assist them, as well as a business operator plan to make sure that the owner of the company can protect their business. That is all you should be selling. And it should not be Legal Shield. It should be Jody Benefits Group. Because the minute you say Legal Shield, they're going to think you're in network marketing. They're not going to want to meet with you. They're going to, it's all of the Legal Shield stuff is going to come. The people who came and left 2 months later, all of that stuff. No beef with Legal Shield, but you have to go in there as Jody Benefits Group, and you offer legal plans for commercial truck drivers and transportation companies with 0 to 30 employees. And you also offer a business plan that costs $1,200 a year to protect them on the road with your company. Does that make sense?
Yep. Yep.
Yeah. So, and I can give you more on how to do that. And we got an appointment anyway. You got an appointment with me anyway. So I'll do some more of that on the appointment that you have with me. But that's where you got to go. And I always suggest for people to do that. Don't join the chamber as Legal Shield. Don't join BNI as Legal Shield, because now you're dealing with all of the associates who screwed something up before that. You're dealing with the attorney inside of BNI that don't like Legal Shield because that's his competition. You're dealing with all of that stuff. You are a benefits company, and Legal Shield is one of your products.
Okay.
An independent insurance agent sells State Farm. They sell Humana. They are not Humana. You cannot be Legal Shield. And Legal Shield does not want you to be Legal Shield. That's why they tell you to call yourself an independent associate.
Okay.
You see what I mean? So just make sure you and going in, and I do not, even if the conversation comes up, Jody, I always I work around it and I say I'm doing a favor. So if Jody catches me in the hall and says, hey, I had something like that before, but it was Legal Shield. Like, I would like to get that again. Is that what y'all? Oh, yeah, I sell Legal Shield through my benefits company. So this is not acting like it's not Legal Shield, but you call your company what your company is. That's why you join Legal Shield. That's why you do a name and number change and you're in Legal Shield as a company so that you can legally do that. Right? You're in Legal Shield. You're in Legal Shield as Jody Benefits Group, and you offer Legal Shield through your company. If that person says y'all would like to get Legal Shield again, right? Then you say, well, I don't normally sell individual plans. I normally only sell small business plans and plans to the employees of trucking companies. But since you're in the chamber with me, I'll go ahead and sell you a plan. So make sure you let them know that before you do that, so that they won't be telling everybody else that you're selling the individual plans. And now people don't want to do a sit down, a one-on-one with you because they think you're going to sell them a $17, $25, $30 membership.
Okay.
right? If you're paying
Alrighty.
$1,200 a year to be in BNI, you best believe that those referrals better be worth you spending that kind of money. And the only way they're gonna be
Yep.
worth you spending that kind of money is if it's a trucking company that you can close as a group, or a small business plan that you can make a significant amount of money off of, because BNI going to charge you an arm and a leg to be a part of it. So you can't be selling $29.95 memberships.
Yep.
Right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the way that's going to work for you.
Okay. Good stuff. Thank you.
You got it. Absolutely. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Jackie, what's up?
Wow, that's the thing. That's me, you know. The thing that I feel confused about here, because I've been networking for 14 years, recruiting, but I always wanted to do the CDLP. So, you know, with the CDLP, you still have to learn the business side of it. That's the Melissa Wilder part. You'll be able to sell that. To do the CDLP, you got to learn that. That's the training. And then what I'm trying to do is build a team. You know, I had a big team, but now you know how everybody started moving and going away. And so trying to build your team back up. So it's like, I want to focus on one thing, but I don't know how to do it. To focus, because I need to recruit them so I can get them in here. So I'm not trying to put all of that premium in myself, but I still, you know, need the training for the small business and the training for the CDLP. So what do you do in that case?
Okay, so with CDLP, remember, the only training for CDLP is Sharanda Ivy on Thursday, me on Monday. Well, not me, us. I apologize, not me. The trainers that get on here, right? We train on Mondays for an hour. That's recorded. You can listen to that at any time. So you don't necessarily have to be on this to get the information, right? Sharanda Ivy's call on Thursday, I don't know whether that's recorded or not.
No,
it's not. Okay, so Jody is saying it's not. So that's something that you would have to get on live if CDLP is your major. So if that's your major, that's one of those things that's not recorded, then you need to be on Sharanda's call live on Thursday. Now it's 8:30 at night. You ain't doing a whole bunch of other activity at that late at night unless you're prospecting people on the West Coast. You know, and it's 6:30 for them. Or 5:30 for them on the West Coast. Does it make sense? So yeah. that one night, you're doing that live call. On this night, this is recorded. So you don't have to be on here Monday night. You can do this on another time where it wouldn't interfere with some other activity. On Melissa Wilder training, if you're gonna sell the small business plan to trucking companies, get on her trainings, but don't get on them live. Get on them, get the recorded one. If she records them, I don't know whether she records them or not. If she records it, get on the recorded one at a designated time that's on your calendar. If you are one of the people that's saying, I'm doing 50% business solutions and 50% network marketing. If that's how you're gonna run your business, that's fine. What I would suggest is this: from 8 o'clock in the morning or whatever time your day starts till about 2 or 3 o'clock in the afternoon, you should be doing nothing but business solutions. Take you a break after that, whatever your break consists of, picking somebody up, walking the dogs, taking a nap, whatever a break is. Come about 4 o'clock, 4 or 5-ish, until about maybe 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you should be doing network marketing. And you should not be doing business solutions at all.
Okay.
So you got to find time blocks in your calendar to concentrate, because you have to focus. You cannot be jumping from networking to business solutions, because your brain does not know how to do that and make up good time. You're not working efficiently like that. So do business solutions morning to afternoon. When business is closed down for the day, you can't do no more. And guess what? The network marketers are getting off of work. Now you can talk. Now you can work with them. Okay. So that's what I would suggest you to do if you're going to do both, because I understand that people want to build a team and do business solutions. I understand that. So you can do both, but don't do them at the same time. Do network marketing in the evening and business solutions in the daytime. Every now and then something might happen that you have to do something at one of the other times, because it'll happen. If you get a network marketer that says, look, I'm off tomorrow, can you call me at 12 noon? Well, I mean, you know, that's activity. You're calling them at 12 noon. That's when they requested it. I'm not saying don't do that. I'm saying, but generally practice doing B2B, daytime hours, business hours, and then do network marketing in the evening, because most of your prospects that got a 9 to 5 anyway, they're not getting off until later on in the day. Like, does that make sense?
Yes, it does. Okay.
Yeah, so that's how I would work that so that you can do both and not be splitting your time and not knowing when you get up, well, which one am I going to do right now? You should know. 8 o'clock to 2 o'clock Business Solutions, shut it down at 2, start ramping up to do your network marketing, all your Zooms that are in the evening to get your prospects on, that's all in the evening, and you're not doing Business Solutions at that time, right? If you start recruiting B2B sellers, that's another conversation. We can talk about that whenever we get there. And I talk to you anyway, so you know we can always have that conversation.
Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? All right. Y'all been fantastic. It's 9:54 and we still got 50 people on. I'm excited. So I hope you guys enjoy the training today. Next week, we will be going into some, well, I'm going to talk to Shran before I figure out what we're going to be going into. But I want to talk more about, and I'm going to talk to Shran about this. I want to talk more about you guys doing a little bit more on the small business plan side in CDLP space. Because I really think that I think it's more profitable. And I think you do more to help the trucking companies when you go in with that small business plan and knock that down. I really think it does a lot of justice for that company. And I think it gets your foot in the door. I think it builds a relationship for you to start then talking to them about their employees, because I want you guys to be able to make some money. And I'm telling you, unless you bundling that plan up, you're not going to make as much money. And I don't want y'all to burn yourself out opening big groups and just selling the CDL by itself and then walking away and saying, man, I didn't make a whole lot of money doing that. I don't want to do that again. Right? I don't want that to be your set situation. I want your situation to be, hey, I sold the CDL, I sold a small biz plan, and I knocked down some family plans, right? And then now once you get in that group, you can start talking about doing an ID Shield workshop and going in there and knocking them for another plan, which will be the ID Shield plan. I never sell that on the first hit. Some of y'all do, some of y'all don't. I'm one that don't. I like to go back and do a workshop for that. So I want to start trying to help people do more of those kind of things. So that we can really, you guys can really like see some good income coming in and not feel like you're going after these accounts and not feeling like you're making the money you should. Yes. So
Yes.
yeah. So go ahead, Miss Barbara Owens. How are you?
I'm fine, sir.
You got that?
Now, I might have missed it. Thank you, sir.
Got the hat on. Can't see you without that hat.
That's been for 30 some years. Sir, I might not have been on when you said, no, you mentioned the small business in reference to being able to capitalize small business and then go into the truckers. Where would you, do you go to would you go to the truck stops, or would you go to some of the rest stops that they have, or do you go to their offices, their companies? Where would you actually go? Maybe you said that and I wasn't on here. Where do you actually go to meet?
I did both. So it was a time in my business when all I did was straight up walk-ins. So I would pull companies and just walk in trucking companies, right? So I have done that. And I've also done the truck stop thing. So years ago, when I say years ago, I mean 23, about 8 years ago. About 8 years ago, when I was prospecting trucking companies, I would literally take my son to school, drive to the truck stop, back into a parking space, go get a cup of coffee, and take pictures of every truck that pulled in, every DOT number that pulled in, because the truck stop, that's what's coming in to get gas. Now, you got other people that are traveling that stop at truck stops and all that, but you're always going to have DOT type commercial type trucks pulling in there. So I would take a picture of the DOT number and then I would go home and pull the number, because I don't call companies without pulling them first. That's just something I don't do. I always pull a company first. So now when I put the DOT number in Safer, now I get more details on the company. So that's what I was doing. Now, if I saw somebody jump out that I felt like I could have a conversation with, like that's the example. Now, if you wasn't on the training this Saturday, I did a whole sit down presentation that I do when I catch them going into the trucking stuff, into the trucking place. I did that presentation. So if it's somebody I felt
that's taped, right?
Huh?
It's taped, right? I can go back and listen.
No, it's not. It was a certification training, so they don't take that. Corporate doesn't take that.
Oh, that was corporate. Yeah, that's corporate.
Yeah. So I will walk in behind that person with a blue parrot around my neck, which is the headset that truckers use. And I would just start engaging with that person. But the plan is to get to the company, because I would always ask that person, hey, Barbara, do you have a good relationship with your safety manager? And then from there, I would ask them for that information, because I don't do one-offs. I very rarely sell an individual trucking plan. You know what I mean? So I just, even if I get the trucker one-on-one, I'm asking them, do they have a relationship with their safety manager? And 9 times out of 10, they do, unless it's a big company, and I'm not even going after them. You got 600-700 drivers that you're not even my prospect. I'm not saying it's not a legal shield prospect. That's not my prospect. Like I normally go after trucking companies with less than 30 drivers. I'm a low hanging fruit guy. I want to walk in the front door and get the owner. Right? I don't want to talk to a safety manager that's got a supervisory safety manager, that's got a regional safety manager. I don't want to go through all that. Now, some people can do that all day long. Like, there's nothing wrong with it. But that's not me. I don't want to go through all that red tape. I want to walk in the front door and there's 20-something guys there, and the owner is the safety manager and owner. That's who I want, because guess what? He's got the same problems as a trucking company with 1,000 drivers, but he don't got the money to deal with the problems.
And this is a dynamite question here, but you got that DOT because you're going to find out what they did wrong, what their safety issues and so forth. So I'm going to come on them with that. Is that why I got that DOT?
Absolutely. The same reason you sit down, you ask your prospect questions so that you know, right? So I always give this example, right? Could you imagine walking into your doctor's office, making an appointment and saying, I need to see the doctor? Nobody asked you why, you just made an appointment. It's an 8 o'clock appointment. You go in there, you walk in the front desk, you sign in, you sit down. Your doctor walks in with a prescription. Hey, here's your prescription. I'll see you next time. And you're like, what in the world are you talking about? Like, I didn't tell you what's wrong with me. Right? That's exactly what you do when you walk into a company and give them information for Legal Shield without knowing what's wrong with them. How you prescribing medication when you don't know what their problem is? When I get your DOT number, now I'm going to pull your record and see what's going on. Because when I call you, I'm going to be able to have a conversation about things that's wrong and not even tell you that I know that that's what's wrong. So if I call you and I say, hey, Ms. Barbara, this is Robert Dunbar. I'm calling from Oceanside Benefits Group. I'm calling from the commercial division. Your information came across my desk. I stole that from Sharanda. Your information came across my desk. And the reason why I'm calling you is because we like to make sure trucking companies can stay on the road, don't have to worry about losing their DOT number by being audited, and keep the insurance rate stable. I'm hoping that when you're getting these violations and citations, you're having an attorney take care of them. But from the information I took a look at, some of the things are still staying on your record. So either you're not data queuing them or you don't have an attorney taking a look at them. Well, what information did you see? Well, I just saw like the last couple of months, a couple of guys got pulled over for doing, serious violations, more than 14 miles over the speed limit. And I want to make sure things like that, we can help you address it. Is it a good time for me to come in tomorrow, the next day, whatever I offer them, 10, 15 minutes, blah, 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 blah. But guess what? I'm not talking to that owner or that safety manager about what could happen, about what trucking companies are dealing with. I'm talking to Barbara about what's happening at her trucking company. And why? Because I pulled the DOT number and I saw what was going on with the company first. I cannot write you a prescription if I don't know what's wrong with you. You can't walk in my office and I assume you got COVID. And right? And if Thomas Jackson is still on, Thomas Jackson can tell you that, because about 3 years ago, Thomas Jackson called me one day and was like, hey, I called this company and told them that I can help them with their citations and violations. And they said, they don't have none. How you calling to help somebody with something that they don't have? And when that happened to him one time, he never did that again. After that, he went and started pulling trucking companies. And the very first time he walked into a trucking company again, he had over 250 prospects inside of a book that he had already researched, because he didn't want that to happen again.
Wow, that's good stuff.
Yeah, you got to know who you're talking to. That's part of conversion in sales. Part of your conversion rate being high is you knowing who you're talking to. So you can go in and close anyway, but your conversion rate is going to be lower. Your conversion rate is going to be lower. So if
Well,
you're
you can-
saying I'm closing 1 out of 10, well, you probably would be closing 2 out of 10 if you did some research first. But you're not doing no research. You just want to just call anybody and say the pitch. And it will work sometimes because it sells. But when I'm engaging with you and you're saying, so how can you, so what can y'all do to help me? I heard y'all company before. Like, so what can you do to help me? Well, for instance, I saw in the last 6 months, 3 of your drivers did more than 14 miles over the speed limit. It was a serious violation. Possibly, we could have fought that and got it reduced to less than 14 miles over the speed limit, and it would have been a non-serious violation. They wouldn't be threatening losing their license for 60 days. Not only that, it wouldn't be so heavy on your score. Well, how do I know to say that to him if I don't even know what kind of violations they got? If he says, how can y'all help me? How can I help you if I don't even know what your violations are? So now I got to say what? So what kind of violations do you get? Come on. Can I say that? I can, but you seem unprepared. Research is part of doing business. Research is part of doing business. You know that. You got a real estate broker firm. I mean, you know. I mean, you and your husband have been doing business for years. You already know. Yeah. I mean, you got to know what's going on in the space that you're working in.
Absolutely.
You got to
I
know.
just took an exam. They had to have the NCRE, the commissioners, what they had to say, the rules from the board, and all that kind of stuff. Yeah, so you're right about that. So.
Yeah. Now, if you don't know what you're doing, because you know, I said it earlier, it's some stupid rich people. So you don't have to know what you're doing, but you can make more money. You can close, right? You can close. Your closing rate is going to be better, right? It's just natural. If you ask questions, Sharon and Larry talk about this all the time. Asking questions during your presentation, when you're doing a sit-down presentation, allows you to wrap the plan around the prospect better. If I'm going to call on a trucking company, I don't want to be embarrassed. I don't want to call that code that I don't know anything. And to me, it's just unprofessional to pick up the phone and call somebody to sell them something and not even have the decency to check the prospect to see whether or not they need what you offer. I think it's just, to me, it's a respectful sales thing. Why am I calling you with no information? Somebody ever call you and be like, so we calling you to see if you want to pick up some insurance. I have insurance. You didn't check that before you called me? How you trying to sell me something I have already? You calling me about a cracked windshield I don't have? I don't have a cracked windshield. That's just a straight up cold call. Some people good at it. I'm not. I want to know what's going on with the company so I can actually have a real life conversation with that prospect. And I can't have a conversation with that prospect if I don't know anything about the prospect. I don't need to know everything, but I need to know enough to break the ice. I want to be able to have an intelligent conversation. I can't have one if I don't know anything but the name of your company. So that's why I take the time to do that. Tell your husband, I say, hey, if you over there somewhere.
I see that George has come unmuted and Edward.
Yes.
Oh, I'm
Hey.
sorry. Go ahead.
Hey,
You're
Mr. Dunbar.
good. Go ahead, George.
Yes, I wanted to ask, that can you mention that website that we will go to look at that information from the trucking companies?
Yeah, safer. Hey, Sharon, could you throw that in the chat?
No.
Sharon can probably put it in the chat, the actual link. That way you can get the link.
Thank you.
Yeah, and Sharon, you can answer some of these questions, Sharon, if you want to.
It's not in the chat.
Huh?
I'm sorry. You're breaking up. I'm sorry.
Oh, I'm
Say that
sorry.
one more time.
Oh, I was saying that we could put it in the chat, but I was saying to you that you can, I said, you can answer some of these questions if you want to.
I have.
Oh, okay. You've been answering them in the chat?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, okay. I was talking more live, but that's okay. I understand.
What
All
can
right,
she
so
answer that one line?
meeting has been okay. Hold on, let me see something. I'm trying to get it on here live. I mean, get the thing in the chat here. Let me see. Let me see.
Mr. Dunbar.
Yes, sir. Hey, man, what's going on, brother?
All right, man. How you doing?
Boy, you got that old school TNV on, man. I love it.
Hey, it still fits.
Hey, that's a good thing, right?
Hey, I got that email reminder with the 3rd, and I said, man, I need to listen to some CDLP because I work I do a lot of small business owners, but I don't do a lot of CDLP. But when I'm talking to the small business owners, and I know that they have people driving company cars, I always tell them, hey, so they're actually a commercial driver, and how does that affect your auto insurance? That's one. Because my goal is to sign up a small business plan and walk out. But I asked, I don't want to. I want to make sure I come back in and do employee benefits, but they also have commercial drivers. Even if they don't have any 18-wheelers, they got commercial drivers, some of them. So that's why I jumped on this training tonight. I said, man, I need to get some more refresher in CDLP. So let me jump on this call tonight and listen in.
Absolutely, brother. No, that's good. And that's funny because a lot of people don't realize that it does affect your insurance, and what those guys do when they're not even working at all affects their insurance.
Right.
So when that same employee is driving their regular vehicle out of town on vacation, if they get a violation, run a stop sign, any of that, it affects the companies because they work for them.
Right. DUI,
so
anything.
It's always anything. Yeah. Oh, DUI, they done. They get a DUI, that's a wrap. Yeah, they that's a wrap. So it all affects the company pretty badly too. So that's those are different angles that we've taken when we're talking to different companies like that have like HVAC drivers or guys who are driving commercially, even though they're not driving big rigs and flatbeds and all of that kind of stuff.
Right. Well, because I came in to listen about some CDLP because I work with small business owners, but it's funny how you guys were talking a lot more about small business owners needing small business plan to CDLP tonight.
Yeah, because Sharanda, man, like that's her deal. Sharanda's deal is that exactly. She's going after those companies. Is that safer thing in there yet?
Yes.
Is in there? Okay, all right.
It's in there. Thank you.
I couldn't see the chat. Yeah.
Thank you.
All right.
Thank
absolutely. You. Yeah, and thanks for joining, Clark, and thanks for staying on, brother.
All right, you're welcome. Thank you.
For y'all don't know who Clark Burton is. Clark Burton is the person that sold me my membership. Clark Burton sold me my membership at an African American Chamber of Commerce event 13 years ago. Introduced me to Legal Shield.
Don't tell the story.
Oh yeah, and then he didn't recruit me. He didn't recruit me because he said he wasn't a recruiter.
I wasn't a recruiter, and and you know what? Last year, 2021, because I live in Tennessee now, not in Florida. Last year, I was in the top 10. I was the 5th recruiter in Tennessee last year. I said, wow. What happened? I'm not a recruiter. I'm for small business owners.
Wow, good stuff. Yeah, that's the running story.
Yeah, and there's one thing between me and Mr. Dunbar. I sold him a legal plan, but I didn't sell him a business plan, and I didn't offer him the opportunity to have this as an affiliate program or referral at his business. But since that happened, look, that's a ring earner I could have had on my team with other his team.
What a mistake.
But once that happened, it was a mistake, but it's a learning mistake, because now when I talk to a small business owner, I always say, hey, are you looking to add another affiliate program here that you can offer to your clients and your customers? They understand that there's an extra form of income they can have. You already got the small business plan for $99. This month is $50. And that's why I'm on this call tonight, because I was talking to a business owner and I realized she has some commercial drivers, and I'm going to put her on as an affiliate program when I sit down with her on Saturday.
And why does that work? That works because that's exactly what I did. When I came in the Legal Shield, I didn't even sell a legal plan. I owned a tax office at the time. I was selling the identity theft plan to my tax clients, so I wasn't even selling the legal plan. The guy who recruited me was like, "Man, you're not selling this legal plan. Like that's our number one product." I was like, "Nah, for me, it's not. I'm selling this identity theft plan." I wasn't recruiting and I wasn't selling the legal plan because I came in selling it as an affiliate program in my tax office because tax fraud was such a big thing. I did their taxes, sold them identity theft. It wasn't until after I went to my first Super Saturday, I started selling the legal plan and looking at recruiting because I didn't see the big picture at the time. All I saw was offer the identity theft plan and that's back in Citrum days. That's when y'all was opening up doing the Citrum groups. You know what I mean? Doing the presentations, man. So that was back then. Absolutely.
And I found my Citrum's book in the garage in the box the other day. That big blue book about 3 inches thick. Certified Citrum's Certified Identity Theft Risk Management Specialist, for those who don't know. And those are the people who monitor and restore your identity through ID Shield. They have to be Citrum certified.
That's right. That's right. That's good stuff. So, yeah, absolutely. So, was that all the questions, Sharon? We good?
Yes, sir.
All right. I'm gonna let you guys go, man, because I know Sharon got to stay on here because I'm on here. She probably got something else to do. I'm over here holding people up. All right, guys.
I see you read minds well.
Okay, guys.
Man, I'm about to text him and tell him to wrap this up. I gotta go.
This bad boy up. It's 10:15. I've been running since 9:15 this morning. So
what's the Citrum?
We truly thank y'all for hanging on, though.
Did a fantastic job again this week. Thanks so much.
Well,
absolutely, man. You guys have a wonderful rest of your week too.
Thank you. You opened my eyes up. I can see clearly now. Thank you.
All right. Thanks, guys, for hanging out so long. Thanks, guys. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Awesome training.
Thank you.
Awesome training.
Oh, thank you. Appreciate that.
Thank you, Mr. Dunbar.
Yeah, we try to have some fun too at the same time. We appreciate it.
Thank you, sir. Good night.
Uh-huh.
All right, sir. Good night.
All right. Good night.
Good night, everybody. God bless you, man.
Good night, everybody.
All right. Hey, Anthony Doris.
Good night, and thank you very much.
You got it. Absolutely. Thanks for hanging out, guys. All right, George. Thanks. Appreciate that.